Hi everybody, today is Saturday, September 5th, 2020, 1 o'clock p.m. Temperatures in the high 70s. Today I'll be riding my bike through Central Park and around Central Park. I am also participating in a fundraiser for the 33rd annual Bike-A-Thon of Bikes Not Bombs. They're a non-profit organization in Massachusetts and they do a lot of good for society. They fix up a lot of old bikes, they teach a lot of classes, they ship bikes to a lot of essential workers to get to their jobs. And if you'd like to help support their cause, you can visit my link down below in the description or in the comment section, where you can help contribute to that organization. They do a lot of great work. My brother there is the community engagements and events officer there. Because of the pandemic, their Bike-A-Thon, which is their main fundraising event, had to go virtual this year. So here I am riding the bicycle in New York City for a Bike-A-Thon held virtually, and you can even participate in it as well. Sign up to be a rider, help fundraise. So here's the entrance to Central Park. Gorgeous day out here in Central Park. This is the weekend of Labor Day weekend. Can't believe it's already September. I think we'll see a lot of people out today, if this is any sign. I've noticed a lot more bike riders ever since the pandemic came to the world. Bicycling more than ever is a very important mode of transportation for many people, especially because it's one of the more affordable options of transportation. Owning a car, taking public transportation, car services, they all cost a lot of money. But if you know how to ride a bike, maintain it, then you can definitely save a lot of money on transportation costs. see a lot of people on city bikes out here. Good to see that. Not only people in city bikes too, but people in professional cycling gear. My bike isn't really that professional. It's just a single speed bike. But I do know people who have posted Strava maps of them doing like multiple laps in Central Park. There's one guy who did like 300 miles just doing this whole route over and over again around Central Park. I don't know if I'll be able to do that or not, or if I'd want to. I would think it would get kind of boring. It's like the perfect day to ride a bicycle too. Not too hot, not too cold. There's even live music being played in Central Park now. I'll go behind you. My gosh, that's so scary. People shouldn't really cross in the middle like that and not look out for bikes. But it's always preferable to pass behind people if they're walking across. It makes them a lot more comfortable. That group was like the deer in the headlights. They just stopped right in the middle. There's a lot of people over here, a big group of cyclists. Might be together. So here the Central Park Loop Road gets closer to 5th Avenue. This stretch of 5th Avenue all the way up to the northern corner of Central Park is known as Museum Mile, just due to the amount of museums that are in this area. Some of them very famous: Metropolitan Museum of Art, the Guggenheim Museum, Museo del Barrio. There's also the Noel Gallery over here, and also the Freak Collection. There's also a Jewish museum here too. But this is the 90th Street exit of Central Park. See, what'll kind of bug me too doing like 100 miles or 300 miles of Central Park going around a loop like this for a long time. It's just the amount of crowds here. You constantly have to be on the lookout for like people crossing the road here, inexperienced cyclists. I can't tell you how many times I've seen like an inexperienced rider who just rented a bike for the first time in many years and hasn't ridden it, and they come here, they start swerving to the left and to the right. So you really have to keep your guard up here. I've noticed many near collisions on the Central Park Loop Road than I care to admit compared to the local streets. Nice playground in Central Park. Here's some guy rollerblading. Rollerblading is not nearly as popular as it once was back in the 90s, but there are people who still do it. Oh, look at this. There's a lot of joggers out here too. Here's another person rollerblading on the left side. I never tried rollerblading, but I would think there's a long learning curve for that. Actually, I have tried rollerblading. I didn't like it. I did it in Prospect Park when they had the roller skating rink, and I fell right on my shin. I think after that, I wouldn't want to do rollerblading. Something about having wheels on the bottom of my feet instead of a flat surface makes me a little bit uneasy, especially knowing how many cracks New York City streets can have and sidewalks. All right, there's a few people here coming down on my right, so I'm going to stay on the inside loop here. It's a good thing about having a mirror. One of the things that New York City kind of lacks is a lack of good road cycling surfaces. Many New York City streets are in poor condition with cracks. As I said, the city streets have potholes in them, so Central Park really is one of the more limited options to cycling on a smooth surface like this. But unfortunately, you have a lot of the obstacles to deal with, like the people and inexperienced cyclists, as I told you before. Many of these road cyclists, they go to places like 9W in New Jersey, where it's a little more consistent with the pavement. But I would actually not recommend riding a road bicycle in New York City with like 23 millimeter tires. Wait, is this centimeters or millimeters? I'm not that technical with bicycles, but yeah, that kind of narrow tire, it doesn't really do well on New York City streets. Especially right now because the sanitation budget got slashed, so as a result they're doing less trash pickup as well as street cleaning. So people who I know, they've told me that New York City streets have seemed to be a little bit more dirty, a lot more broken glass on the road, so that's another benefit for having wider tires. This is the Harlem Hill, because we are in the northern part of Central Park. I don't have gears on this bike, it's just one gear, but I like that, less maintenance, easy to just go and not have to worry about it. One of the great things that the city did was close off this loop road to motor vehicles at all times, except for the official vehicles, like the parks vehicles and the emergency vehicles. A few people on the side there taking water breaks. Look at that, a little chipmunk. All right, I just cycled the entire Harlem Hill, and now I'm king of the world, or so I'd like to think. I am going to try to stay in this lane as much as I can. It's always a little trickier passing on the descents. I see some people behind me. I don't want them to take a chance with some reckless cycling. I've learned that lesson way long ago in my childhood. I was riding down one of these hills in Central Park on my bike, swerved a little bit to the left or the right, and this older gentleman who was, I would say honestly, going a little bit too fast for the conditions, but he just yelled at the top of the lungs. He was like, "Yo, you just can't do that." And he like looked back to me and just gave me the hand shrug. But that's why you always gotta be proactive as a cyclist. I mean, as a little kid, maybe I should have known better, maybe I shouldn't have. And maybe I should have been a little more careful. But when you're young, you're bound to do stupid things. But also as an adult, you have to be proactive and be careful too. This isn't really a racing course. Wow, that's a unicycle. Must be hard to balance on that thing. I've even got trouble cycling with one hand when I need to grab something. Here's another hill. On your left. Another person with a unicycle. And another one. And another one. What is this, the unicycle club? Official vehicle coming. Look at that, there's even a little kid doing a unicycle. And here's the perfect example of why Central Park's not a race course. Unlike these people who think it is. Love hearing all the clipless pedals just clicking all at once. That's a sign of a professional group. Click, 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 click. I actually have never used clipless shoes or clipless pedals before. Just because I'm afraid of being clipped in and not being able to react instinctively when danger does approach me. I don't think I could ever like change my mind to just like lift my foot off the pedals and just like avoid the danger instead of thinking like, oh, I gotta twist it out and then lift it out. It really requires like a certain mindset to do that. All right, so here's 72nd Street. I can actually make a left here and go all the way across the park. Look at that, huh? There's a person singing there. And here's sheep meadow. There used to be sheep grazing on the meadow there. That's why it's called sheep meadow. It was a long time ago. And I believe this is a nice restaurant called Tavern on the Green. Yes, Tavern on the Green, but now it's only Tavern to go. So that's one of the effects of the pandemic. I see all the tall skyscrapers right in front of me of Midtown Manhattan. All right, so I'm actually going to end my video over here at the entrance of Columbus Circle. But if you enjoyed this bike ride, smash that like button for me, subscribe for some more videos, and I'll see you all next time. And also be sure to check out Bikes Not Bombs 33rd annual Bike-A-Thon, because it is a very good organization, nonprofit organization, and I really support what they do. So stay tuned, folks. Bye-bye.
Close the doors, please.